so long is like alchemy.
All right, here we go. The new look Cavs, OKC. Remember, they exploded on Boston. You see two Team LeBron All-Stars for OKC. And these two have been going at each other for damn near 20 years. They know all each other's moves, and there's a little bit extra juice when they match up on each other. Watch LeBron straight hit the R1, turbos it to the rim. When you look at this new roster, the one thing you look at and you say is, do they really have a true center? Probably not so much, and Steven Adams took full advantage tonight, 22-17 with the air lob from Russ. And everybody's feeling nice, but no one nicer than J.R. Swish. 5 first-half threes, and he's really got his swagger back. No D-Wade, no Isaiah Thomas, no Crowder, and J.R. Smith might be the biggest beneficiary except for this man, LeBron. Not having to work as hard offensively, the legs are there for the three ball. He hit 3 of them on his way to 38 points. And then Melo, this is where you attack OKC on the defensive end. Carmelo Anthony at the 4. I think the Thunder really need Pat Patterson to get right with his health. LeBron in the third, absolute dominance. 18 points. Look at the flow. One-footed fader in the corner. And you can see that kind of slow, buttery rhythm, the pull-up game. Like I said, 38, 8, and 8. Now, Russ was coming back off missing a few games, and it was noticeable. He was out of rhythm, and they kind of force-fed Melo 10 of 22, 24 points, but I would have liked to seen them take advantage of their size inside. If Cleveland's going to go small, make them pay for it on the other end, and they didn't do that. Rodney Hood, 4 threes in 25 minutes. Everybody's showing up, but you know who's probably the most important newest acquisition? Larry Nance Jr. 13, 9, and 3 blocks, splitting the time with Tristan Thompson at center. More LeBron. No, it's Larry, the tap out Clarkson. Why? He shoot it like a girl. That shit still goes in. Cavs roll. All right, I finally got a full-on look at this new look Cavs team. I saw some of the Boston game. I didn't catch all of that, but he was kind of asking me about that in the opinion. You know how you have your clique of boys, right? And probably every 2 weeks or so, maybe you all get together for a barbecue. And, you know, you got your squad, you got your team, everybody knows everybody. And then maybe someone introduces like a few new people to the group, right? You know, a couple new heads is coming through to LJ's house, right? And y'all are eating. You notice the house is extra clean. You're like, damn, LJ cleaned up. You're eating some of the chicken. You're like, damn, man, how long you marinate this chicken for? 3 days? Damn, he don't got the Kroger. He don't got the Kroger soda. He's got real Pepsi and Coke, right? And you're like, dang, LJ's really going out of his way, man. He cleaned the house. The food is extra good. He's joking and smiling. And you're like, oh, man, he's kind of putting on he's showing these new heads his best side. And that's only natural. And that's exactly what's happening with LeBron James. Now, don't get me wrong. LeBron is this. We've seen this. We've known this. But obviously he's been disgruntled. There's been turmoil in Cleveland. And I like to talk about the honeymoon phase with teams and stuff like that. And clearly that's going on. Everybody is putting their best foot forward, and LeBron is energized and smiling. And you've got Clarkson and Nance that have never tasted winning, and they're buying in, and Hood as well, right? And so things look good. They look really good. Larry Nance Jr., I think, might be the most impressive piece, and he split time with Tristan Thompson at center. Now, Steven Adams, I had mentioned, I believe, how is 22 points his career high? I swear they put that across the stat line, and that's kind of alarming. I guess that's what it is when you play with Russ your whole career. But Steven Adams, I thought that they could have fed him more. Down the stretch, I think they were trying to live and die by the 3 ball. And they were trying to match Cleveland, and that was a mistake. Play inside out because Cleveland went small. Larry Nance Jr., as athletic as he is and as oppressive as he was on the offensive glass in particular, he can't guard a true big man like that. And I thought they could have generated more open shots and better looks rather than just kind of letting Melo jab step his way into threes. But yeah, it's going to work. Cleveland looks a lot better. I'm just saying that it is right now. Everybody is playing at maximum effort. Let's see how long this lasts. I said J.R. Smith has maybe been the biggest benefactor. We saw George Hill handling the ball, and the thing that I wasn't aware of about Larry Nance Jr. was, and I've seen some of them, but the Lakers played him very sparingly, and they have a different system, is when you put him in that high pick and roll, he kind of can play that Draymond Green role. Now, he can't dribble the ball and handle it like Draymond, but 1 or 2 dribbles and then making a decision in the middle of the floor to the corner 3-ball shooters where they have those pin-out screens. And then obviously he can elevate and finish with the best of them. But his energy on the offensive glass, Clarkson, it's been noted since the beginning of the season. Remember, Magic Johnson challenged him to be the sixth man of the year, and he just fits that role perfectly. His energy, I was clowning him at the end of the game, and what I meant by that, I'm not even trying to be sexist. I'm serious because coaching basketball and training my daughters, female basketball players, they don't do the dip. Like a good percentage of them don't dip their hips when they release it. And women shoot the ball actually better than men at a higher percentage if you want to break it down. But a lot of them don't do that dip. Their hips are stiff. And Jordan Clarkson kind of has like a female release. But anyway, I'm going to leave that alone, man. I like what the Cavs did. OKC, Roberson, it hurts that they're missing Roberson. And like I said, you attack Melo. When you look at their starting five and you say, where's the weak link in this chain of defense? It's Melo. And so Patrick Patterson, I know he's coming along slowly off that knee surgery. I think that OKC might have been a little bamboozled into signing Patterson and I think Toronto knew ahead of time because they're not exactly getting what they would want from him. And you saw, like, Paul George had some bad turnovers in this game where you still see amongst their big three where they try to overshare the ball or they don't necessarily make the proper basketball play. They're just kind of like, all right, it's your turn. It's your turn, rather than just playing basketball. And I think that hurts them. But Cleveland, let's wait and see how this settles down. Like I said, you've come to LeBron's house and he's gone all out with all the fixings and everything, right? So we'll see. I think it's going to calm down a little bit. But I was impressed. Hood shooting the three, like catch and shoot. Hill, they definitely looked better. I just circle that center position. I think that obviously strategically, Lou, they will always sacrifice defense for offense. That's just their mindset and how they play. So you're going to see a lot more of Larry Nance finishing games rather than Tristan Thompson. And Nance is just as good a defender, except against bigs like Steven Adams last night. I would have probably put more of Tristan on Adams, but ultimately they didn't pay the cost for it because they were able to neutralize it with threes on the other end. But if you look at the Eastern Conference and you look at the playoff picture, there's only a handful of teams that could do damage with them with a bigger front line. You look at Miami with Whiteside. You look at Valanciunas in Toronto with Pirtle. Pirtle and Valanciunas could really give them some problems. And then Detroit, depending where they finish, with Drummond and Blake. So I think that's something you have to look out for. But if you look at like Boston doesn't have the bigs to punish them and they can stay in that small lineup. But it adds to intrigue. I'm excited. Do I really want to see a Cavs Golden State fourth NBA Finals? Not so much. But I'm glad that Cleveland is better and rejuvenated. It's better for the league, and it's just something more for us to watch and talk about. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.